Hello, this is AstrologerCoach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming full moon in 7 degrees of Leo on January 26th at 11:38 p.m. East Coast time in the US and 8:38 p.m. Pacific time, which is the West Coast time in the US. And the full moon is always a relationship aspect where we're either interconnecting with other people, it's an extroverted time, but it's also about finding our inner balance between the placement of the moon and the placement of the sun. So in this case, the moon is in Leo, which is about the heart, it's about our joy, it's about our inner spark, our creativity, and our inner child. And the sun is in Aquarius connecting to Mercury, and that is all about, it's about our larger vision for life, it's about community, it's about society, it's about how can we connect in a more equal way, in a better way, and improve how society is working or how our communities are functioning. So with this full moon, this is very much about, connecting to your inner joy and to connecting what is special about you and bringing that special spark to the world and sharing it with your communities or sharing it with like-minded people. And because, when we share something that's unique about us, we're definitely connecting into that creativity inside of us, that place inside of us that is able to be very present in the moment and just enjoy life and create from that joyful place. And so each of us has that gift to do that in each of us in a different way. And each of us has a role to play in this world. And so no matter how big or small that role is that you're playing, or how big or small you perceive it is that you're playing, each role matters, and each person matters, and each person's spark that they're bringing to the world matters. And so each of us can make a difference. No matter how we're doing it, we're making a difference. And so it's very important to own that and to acknowledge ourselves for how important each of us is in making a difference for the whole of society, for the whole of all the pieces of how they're making the whole. Now Saturn is playing a big part of this full moon as well, because it's making a T-square to the Sun and Mercury in Aquarius and the moon in Leo. And this means that we might be experiencing some inner tension at the time of the full moon, because this full moon is very much about being social and connecting to other people, networking, building communities, communicating, sharing ourselves. But Saturn in Scorpio says, tap more deeply into your emotional world, tap into, taking responsibility for your darkness and your lightness inside of you, for all the feelings inside of you. Connect to the commitments that you have towards intimate relationships in your lives, whether that's a significant other or whether that's your own intimate relationship with yourself. Saturn says, you need to look and see how you can connect to yourself more fully. How can you embrace yourself more fully, and how can you face your fears about tapping into these deep feelings or into these shadow parts of yourselves. And so with Saturn making that T-square to the full moon, we're kind of like feeling this inner tension between, like, how do we connect more fully and more deeply to ourselves, and how do we connect to other people, and how are we being social in a light way, in a way where we're having joy and fun and building new communities and networking. So we need to find creative ways, and we need to find a way to kind of think outside the box on how we can make this work. How can we be honest with ourselves and with what we're feeling, and how can we be social and be light and lighthearted and create new ways of thinking with other people and connecting with other people. So with this T-square, we definitely want to create healthy boundaries. We want to make sure that we choose what's important to us, and we want to make sure that we look at what we value and bring the things that are important to us to the world. The other thing with this full moon is that Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is making a trine to the moon in Leo and a sextile to Sun and Mercury in Aquarius. And these aspects, they all create an easier way for us to bring our joy and our heart to the communities out there, or to people out there, and interact or find new ways of interacting on a very equal footing with each other, and finding a way to communicate from a place of equality, and still bring our spark and our creativity to those communities and to the world. So freedom and equality is a big part of this full moon. Networking, building communities, tapping into your inner creativity and tapping into your joy, and taking responsibility for all of your feelings, for all of that's there, because all the darkness that we experience within us also shows us how much lightness is there, or how much possibility for lightness there is. So even if we're feeling really low, and even if we're feeling really heavy in our life situations right now, that shows us how much lightness and how much enlightenment we can achieve in this life by just embracing the darkness, and by just really tapping into that source of power. We can transform that into lightness, and that happens also through taking responsibility for what is there inside of us, for making a commitment to ourselves that we're going to connect to ourselves more fully, and that we're also going to face our fears. So all this is part of the full moon. So again, it's a huge package of things. If you want to know a little bit more how this is connected to your life, and how this is showing up in your personal chart, please feel free to reach out for a mini reading. The mini readings are 25-minute long readings that help us understand one aspect of ourselves, and one transit that is happening out there, just to see how that's related to us, and gives us a more in-depth insight on how we can work with that energy, how we can work with that particular aspect. If you want to go a little bit deeper, dive deeper into what's going on in your life and how your future is unfolding in the next several months, feel free to reach out for a whole life reading or for a repeat reading if you've already done readings with me before. I'd be very happy to support you. And if you have 4 to 13 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio sun sign, rising sign, or personal planets, which is, the moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, then you're definitely going to feel the effects of this full moon more strongly. You're going to feel more connected to that sense of needing to create freedom, equality within your communities, and tapping into your spark, and also tapping more into your commitment towards becoming whole and becoming complete by embracing all the energies within you, all the darkness, all the lightness, and all that stuff. You're going to feel more connected to that if you have those degrees and those signs. But each of us is going to feel it to some degree. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm very happy to support you always. My email is sonja@astrologercoach.com. That's SONJA@astrologercoach.com. And always feel free to connect with me via my weekly blogs as well, which are helping you to stay aligned with the energies out there on a day-to-day basis. All right, have a fantastic full moon. Get connected to all of you, and bring that lightness to the world, and bring your visions to the world, and help create a better place and a better experience within our communities, within our societies. And I will be back soon with another video. This is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.